Going to check on these markets. We're going to do that with Bloomberg's Jess Menton.
Well, Katie, taking a look at the broader market here, the S&P 500 still trading higher, so it actually had briefly turned lower after the opening bell here. But of course, as you know, it did trade and close at record highs yesterday, as well as the NASDAQ 100. So continuing to march higher. Really what happened in early trading, though, it was NVIDIA had been trading higher in pre-market, gave back a little bit of those gains. So if you look at the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, it was down about 1%. So you had AMD, Intel, and other stocks like that, like Micron Technology, moving lower, but still nonetheless, that index is higher. Moving over and looking at what's happening with the euro, not surprisingly, that is trading higher after the ECB's interest rate decision today. So that was widely expected when you are looking at those interest rate cut bets. And even though Christine Lagarde was tight-lipped about the future of what other rate cut expectations could potentially be, if you look at the curve, though, there are those expectations that there would be at least 2 more interest rate cuts. But again, a divergence when you think about the path of the Federal Reserve. And then also on the back of, we just had the Bank of Canada cut interest rates as well earlier this week, too. And then you think about the Bank of England, obviously in a different situation because of them grappling as well with the inflation problem. But a lot of that recent data out of the Bank of England is showing that mild recession, things are starting to improve moving out of that. But looking over and seeing at some individual stocks this morning, some things I'm keeping a close eye on. Of course, NVIDIA, have to bring it up because that 10-for-1 stock split that's going to come into effect before trading on Monday. If order to be qualified to be for that stock split, you have to be a shareholder today. So that's something important. So you have seen this trend where ahead of a stock split, you do see a stock run up and then give back a little bit of those gains. But looking at the retail space, if you think about luxury retailers when it comes to athleisure wear, Lululemon, that stock's higher this morning because it boosted its annual profit outlook. But when you look on the opposite side of that, Five Below is actually trading lower here, down about 11% here. So it's on pace for its worst percentage loss actually since the start of the pandemic. But a lot of that was because it's cut its sales outlook for the year. And a lot of that was just inventory that it's stacked up because of these sort of plush toys. I don't know, Katie, if you follow it, but these squashmallows that basically they were selling, not as many people were buying those. So that was why they were hurt. And then I had to point out what's happening with Kava. So this stock actually went public just about a year ago. It's up about 300% in that span. But the reason it's down today about 6% is because its largest stakeholders, Artal, actually is planning to sell about 3 million shares according to a regulatory filing, Katie.
Unfortunately, I'm quite well acquainted with Squishmallows. Bloomberg's Jess Menton, thank you so much.